Hey guys, it's Brandon. We're going to do a quick video on an instructional game that I played fairly recently, where my opponent violated just about every major rule regarding opening play, and paid pretty dearly for it. And so before we get into the game, let's just sort of go over what those rules are. So what's the point of the opening in chess? Generally, the point of the opening in chess is to do the following things: develop your pieces, knights and bishops first usually, and then get the queen out, connect the rooks. So develop your pieces. Fight for the center of the board, the all-important center, e4, e5, d4, d5 squares that I've highlighted here, and get your king into safety. Those are the three most important things that you try to do out of the opening, and getting your king into safety usually means castling, either kingside or queenside. In general, you try not to make any pawn moves that don't either aid development or somehow control the center, which is why most opening moves are played with e4, d4, because these control the center. G6 is an okay pawn move because it, or g6 or g3 because it helps aid in development of the bishops. But this is why you very rarely see moves like h4 out of the opening, because it does nothing to control the center. It really does nothing to do. It doesn't help develop any of your pieces. It just sort of does nothing. So anyway, let's get to the game, and we'll show you how my opponent violated these rules and how it worked out for me. So I played d4, he played d5, and so queen's pawn game, queen's gambit. This is the queen's gambit declined martial defense, I think, knight f6, knight c3. This is standard, putting pressure on the d5 pawn, and usually what follows here is just a standard queen's gambit declined with e6, but my opponent plays bishop f5. So after this capture here, I played g3, just another one of those moves that is getting ready to develop the bishop. So my opponent is so far hasn't really made any bad mistakes, but this was a mistake. He plays knight to b4, and what I should have done, you can see as indicated by these arrows, is honing in on this this fork square here on c2, where it would be check, and then he would win the rook. Most accurate for me would have been to just play e4 here, hitting the bishop and stopping this fork, because the queen could just take, and of course the bishop is protecting the pawn, and then also controlling the center with two pawns. I didn't play that. I decided just to play a little inaccurately, but it's okay. I said, you can have the fork. I'm going to get some active piece play here. So check, he gets there. Now I have two pawns in the center, better development, and he's got maybe 1.5 pieces developed at this point. So bishop to f4, I have now 3 pieces developed, complete control of the center, and he's to his 1.5 pieces developed. Now he starts breaking one of the rules. He's ignoring his other pieces which need to come out, bishops and the knights and the rooks, and ignoring his king sitting here in the back rank and making too many pawn moves. This would be an okay pawn move to make because it takes control of the center, but of course it is a sacrifice of a pawn, so to speak, because bishop can just take. Now he does even more pawn moves, attacking the bishop just goes back, attacking the bishop one more time, and now the game is over, because there's a forced mate here, and I think the most he can put off the mate for is 5 moves, and you can see that my game board here is indicating which move to make, and it is of course queen h5 check. His king is in the center of the board. I have control of these important center squares. I have much better development than him, and I'm down an entire rook. The interesting thing here, if we were to actually go back to this move here, 11, bishop to f4, when I played this retreat here. So f6, and I played bishop to f4 retreat. I ran this game through Houdini just to check, and just to check where my status would have been. And if he had done something normal, I probably would have played, taking on a1. But Houdini, when it did the valuation, even though I'm down an entire rook in this position, said that my opponent's advantage was only half a pawn. And that's because of all of this development that I have here and all of this control of the center. And but anyway, he plays this move, which is a blunder, because after queen h5 check, king of course has only one move, and then the knight comes in, check, and again the king has only one move, and then it's just an easy bishop h3 check, and the only way to prevent mate is to give up these 2 pawns in succession to prevent the mate from coming in, but my opponent plays f5, after which bishop takes f5 is checkmate. So down a whole rook, but managed to checkmate the king, my opponent's king, in 15 moves. So this is just one of those games that illustrates the importance of those opening rules that we talked about. Getting your pieces out, getting your king into safety. Don't open lines against your king. Don't make pawn moves like these pawn moves that he played here for no reason if they don't actually accomplish anything towards getting control of the center. So I hope that was instructional for you guys, and hope you enjoyed it. And we'll see you next time.